People ask me all the time, is it a show, is it a place, is it a movement? I suppose it's all those things, but it really is a creative collection of individuals. Share passion for the creative arts, music, theatre, performance art in general. Yeah, we write stuff together, we perform stuff together, we just have fun sharing this stuff with the world.
The Hope Project rocks.
I think the Hope Project appeals to me because it speaks to young people. Sometimes, the avenues that society has is not always enough for the young people that we have in today's day now.
The Hope Project was, all the storyline was basically life experiences. Just having people coming in, acting those things out. Some people most probably are sitting there thinking, I've gone through that, I've gone through that.
When I had to sing on the first Hope Project, Chad called me, he's like, I've got this friend Ndile and he's got these songs and he'd like you to sing in the show, and he explained the concept and I was like, cool, I'm in, I like it, I understand the concept, I appreciate what he's trying to do, I'm there. And when he sent me the songs, which were these rough recordings, I think of Chad playing and Ndile singing, I was like, this dude's actually quite a good singer. For any singer who is singing someone else's song, it's always easier when it's a well-written song. And with his songs, they're very well written. This was something like I've never experienced before. This was trying to give people a message. Its reach is so broad. I mean, I understand that Ndile and Chad, for example, come from a Seventh-day Adventist background. But when I heard this stuff, I was like, but this is going to reach far beyond that. You know, I'm Jewish. I can understand these songs. These songs touch me in a very spiritual place. And therefore, I believe it can reach beyond Christianity. Hi, what's up? This is RJ Benjamin, and you are watching The Hope Project.
So in the first show was led by a single character who is involved in a very devastating, is basically a rape victim, raped by her father in a devastating opening scene, and we follow her throughout the production. In Rise, we have several different stories that evaluate different characters who I felt could open up dialogue to a range of people across a range of experiences and backgrounds. So that was part of the reason why the different stories.
The show is about the everyday things that we young people experience and go through, at home, at school, at work, some of us, and some of the problems that we have and how they affect us differently and the different ways that we can overcome these problems.
So refreshing change. I was watching real people.
The energy of the show, young people.
I mean, the music was phenomenal. For me, it was
issues that are pertinent.
The cast was just amazing.
Play of this nature, I think, is very important in the culture of South Africa.
Their talents for a better cause.
I think that this play begins to give some indication and some direction for young people who are in a secular space.
Look, I'm accused of having this sort of hard-hitting approach to storytelling. For the Hope Project, Zweli and I opened the show with this very sort of graphic rape scene, very hard-hitting, very sad, but also very real. And a lot of people complained, and yeah, I can understand. They felt we should have put a rating on the show and stuff, but no. Look, what am I trying to achieve through story? Again, a sense of reality, a sense, I suppose I am trying to provoke a reaction on some level, but nothing in the stories I tell is unrealistic or sort of designed to shock for the sake of shocking. It is really just designed to get people thinking about where they're at. Challenges around theatre are vast. I mean, for starters, a lot of people feel that theatre is a dying medium. I beg to differ. I have such passion for the medium. And it's always quite challenging to get sponsors on board to support these projects, because let's face it, filling seats, or depending on sort of audience revenues, to sort of sustain a show of shows of this magnitude, I'm crazy. And then of course the challenge, of course, of working with amateur actors and singers, etc., who had to be trained to a certain skill level, and balancing that with schoolwork and other things, and then bringing together a team on a shoestring budget. I really had to rely on relationships and friendships I've had to bring the right people on board, without whom this thing couldn't have worked. And to bring the sort of passion and give the sort of time required to make a show like this work, you know, trying to juggle all these things, I had to give hats off to my amazing team at Zwile for keeping me sane. I suppose I have to say this brings me joy when I think about it, because people came to me after the show and asked me what I thought, or where I thought some of the characters I wrote would end up. And that inspired me to start writing ideas around where they would go and how they would end up. I'm writing the next show, the working title for which is Rise Up. We should see some of those characters resurface. Why an album? Because it can go places a show can't go. Theatre is our passion, and it's usually the first sort of platform we sort of air our ideas. There are people who couldn't be at the Hope Project, the stage play, and who couldn't be at Rise, who will hear this and find hope and be inspired. The shows, I think between the two shows there's about, I'd say about 20 original compositions that go hand in hand with the stories that are being told. First one being Rock Conversation, which features my good friends and talented artist Tamasha and Garabo Mongatandi. He's a phenomenal gospel artist, and I wrote that particular song with Emily Dangwa, a good friend of mine. The second one, Pray On, You Don't Have to Know, is a song I wrote for a friend of mine who was very ill at university, and he never knew. In fact, to this day, he doesn't know I ever wrote him this song. And that's the point of the song, that there's things happening on our behalf because people are praying for us. To get my friend RJ Benjamin on this track was just such an honor. The only track gospel track he's ever been on, he's ever recorded. He's obviously R&B, soul, house, famous for those genres, and to have him on this track was just such a blessing and to mentor. In fact, RJ Benjamin and Chadwin Alexander, my music director for the live shows, Chadwin is lead producer on the tracks we worked on, we recorded, and RJ would be his co-production partner. They're co-production partners for a lot of work they do. Number 4's got Jared John. He's like the quintessential pop star, I promise you. He works hard, and I know he's been in the studio working on his own project for a while with Chad and RJ, and this song just had his name all over it, his voice quality, and a song that talks about how despite everything we've been given, we've been set up to basically make it, and God has done everything He can to empower us with what we need in terms of people, resources, and He's put it in us to make it. But we keep falling, and that's the human condition. It's the get up. So what did surface was 2 amazing artists who have brought such a quality and texture to the project that I would never, as a writer, as a sort of producer, have brought out myself. And that's Bongile Lukube, who's currently working on a debut album. An amazing song called In Here speaks about how no one can argue about what you're experiencing. That's the most powerful thing about growing spiritually. And then there's Riffy. He's an amazing writer, producer. Like he did almost everything on this track with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 backing vocals. Phenomenal writer. On his song Shine Again, which basically closes off the album, he talks about how, again, this embodies the spirit of the project as a whole. Rise, you know what I mean? The sun is going to shine again. We are dabbling in other mediums outside of theatre and music, production. There's there's a strong itch to get some film made. But again, that's when we have to approach with caution, but we are talking to people in that area. In the meantime though, I mean, we're still finalizing details about music videos for the current project, to get those released, to get people knowing about this project, take it on tour. We want to explore new genres, we want to explore new styles, and there's so many things we want to get done, and we'll get to them. Right now, it's all about letting you know that this is out. If you've got one already, get one for your family, your friends. You can't go wrong. It's important stuff. It's important stuff, and we love what we do, and we hope you love it too.